You are listening to the Chomp Cast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp. And remember, you can always go to swordchomp.com, where you can access the many places our podcast is available for download. But if you're listening to the show right now, that means you found us. So welcome to the madness that is the Chomp Cast. We are chilling like motherfucking villains this week as we discuss some of our favorite villains in gaming as the topic of the show. So that should be a lot of fun. Me and Fish continue our trek across the depraved wastes of Hope County, Montana. And much like the reverse of the shocking plot twists of games like Knights of the Old Republic or BioShock Infinite, we have a BioBreak article this week that involves antibodies and how bad can actually become good. We have a poll rundown, or I should say polls, that will be run down involving a huge No Man's Sky update this summer, multiple orgasms, Spyro the Dragon reignited, and sharks. Not to mention a Combustion Pokemon-themed caption contest that we ran on the Instagram, at SwordChomp on Instagram. And Josh and Shea have some sort of secret segment that they refuse to tell me about, so I'm leaving that section open at the end of the show so we can discuss whatever this top secret section of the podcast is about. So stay tuned, because even I don't know. I generally know everything. So all that and more on this week's Chompcast. But let's get to some intros here. Up first, the one and only Fish is here from Texas, the Filipino Johnny Depp. Fish, I know you're still tearing through Far Cry 5, and much to my surprise, Fish actually got a hold of some of that bliss oil in real life. He's telling me that he drank some, and it's weird. Now he's just been sending me nudes all week, which is strange. What's going on, Fish?
I don't know. It's all of a sudden I just started developing this attraction for the same sex, you know? I look at you. I'm looking at you much more differently nowadays.
Really? Something in the water, maybe, perhaps?
Yeah, I think it's that bliss oil that's doing something to me.
Did you reactivate your Grindr account as well?
Yeah, for some reason that was the first thing I went for. Is reactivated it. And,
Reactivate, yeah.
Yeah. Started.
That's the fastest way. When you need to shoot that shit right in your veins, you just go right to the source. So, can't be out there fucking around. You know, Alex Jones might have been onto something with the frogs and all that nonsense, apparently. So.
Oh yeah. His little theory about the government putting shit in the water that's turning the frogs gay. Yep.
If it works on frogs, it's got to work on fish. I think that's the natural conclusion that we can draw.
Yeah. Right? Fish and frogs go hand in hand. They both start with the F.
Yeah. Fish having hands and all now.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He can do incredible things with those hands. Let me tell you what. God, I was just going down the Easter eggs of all those great Far Cry 5 Easter eggs this week. And also the thought, like we and Fish watched that real life Far Cry thing on Amazon, so maybe we can talk about that later, but they actually kind of show you what bliss oil would supposedly be like in real life, even though it's obviously ludicrous. But,
oh yeah,
fun.
It's way ludicrous. Especially, I just finished up Faith's area, but yeah, that they take it to wild ass fucking places in that game.
Kojima ludicrous, which I can get behind that kind.
Yes, yeah. It's on that level.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, thanks for being here, Fish. Of course, and keep sending those dick pics, I guess, if that's what your heart tells you to do.
Hey, if you're accepting, I'm sending.
That's just the kind of friend I am. Speaking of dick pics for days, Shea Layton is here from Japan, and the professor, he had one of the most famous dick pics in the history of Sword Chomp and Pokemon Go. Not sure if you remember that one. There, I remembered. Well, why don't you tell us about that one, Shay? Go ahead. Enlighten our listeners, just in case they're new.
Yeah. So, I got this brilliant idea that I would screenshot, whatever Pokemon I was catching, because I had to go to the bathroom and I was sitting in my living room throwing Pokeballs, and a Paris appeared in my bathroom while I was getting ready to go to the bathroom. So I thought that would be a really good time to screenshot the very tip of my penis as I was trying to catch the Paris and send it to the guys. And took them a little while to notice, but they found it. And then I realized I could take this joke one step further. So that I was on this Pokemon Go Facebook group.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And I sent it to this Facebook group. I'm like, oh, I need to get this Paris. And not a single person noticed my penis in that picture. I was so proud that I managed to get nudity on Facebook on a group, a public group, without anyone noticing.
You just got a lot of congratulations. Nice catch. Great job.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, thanks.
It just goes to show.
Little small.
You know. It was hidden.
Hey.
It was like with camouflage. It was like an I Spy thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it blended in with the color because my old bathroom back in the States was like a very brownish color. And I'm not saying my penis was brown, but it was just like.
You might not have that checked out.
Just like the background, it blended a little bit better. So my mushroom head was able to...
It was like a magic eye. You really had to kind of cross your eyes and stare through it for it to really pop out at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fun, like those I Spy things. Yeah.
God, those magic eye things were so difficult.
I hate those.
I could never see what everyone else saw.
Even if you saw it, you had to like basically cross your eyes and focus so hard it wasn't enjoyable. It's like, what's the fucking point of this shit? No, I remember those. Yeah.
You got to get good.
Yeah, well,
fucking magic eye noobs.
Get good. How do you get good at magic eye? Oh my God, I really got to practice looking at this.
Well, that's what the internet tells you. You got to get good. It's a solution.
That's why the 3DS never took off.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember that. I remember everything about that post and those. It's one of those things I wish people could have. Well, I was gonna say I wish they could have experienced, but maybe not. Speaking of dicks right before our eyes, or I should say penises hiding right under our noses. Joshua Fowler is here. How you doing, Josh?
Huh.
Dicks right. Let me try it again. Speaking of dicks right under our noses. There you go. That's better.
All right.
Right?
Okay. Sure.
I don't like to use the term penis to describe, so that's just weird. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, but dick, I think that's a fair assessment.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes.
What about phallus or scepter?
A scepter right under our noses?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah. How about a phallus?
Josh Longinus Fowler.
Yeah, I guess so. I like where you're going. Yeah, like
his
head's
phallus.
I almost said I like where your head's at, Shea, and then it reminded me of that Paris picture again. like where your head's at.
Right in my bathroom, taking a picture with Paris.
Boom. Josh actually said something today that I never thought he would say in a million years. Do you remember what that was, Josh?
I didn't thank you for anything today, did I?
Ooh, no.
I like Fago, is what I distinctly remember.
It was, he was talking about purchasing the next God of War game. Oh my God. Who is this person? This is not the Joshua Fowler I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick it up. It looks like it's a large enough game that I don't really want to rent it or anything like that. I think I'm probably going to want enough time with it that just buying it is probably the right call.
Are you ready to...
Josh, I'm disappointed. I thought you were going to make a joke there. You're going to be like, yeah, I was thinking about picking it up. And then realizing my mistake and putting it right back on the shelf and then walking away from it. I thought, that's a typical Josh joke. You let me down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, while I'm there, I may pick up some copies of 1, 2, and 3 and, just throw them away just outside the store just so no one else is inflicted with that,
How dare
pain.
you? How dare you? How dare you?
More on that later.
That... that game is riding hot right now. That game is coming in hot. Weird because the reviews already dropped on that game, but it's not set to release until next Friday, which means we won't be able to talk about it until a week after. But they're getting the buzz out on this thing early, so Usually that means they're just really confident when they're getting out there. See, it's got like a 94 Metacritic. It's the Breath of the Wild. It's the Kratos. Fish is actually excited about it. Fish messaged me today and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so excited about this God of War game." I'm like,
yeah, I've been wanting something good to come out of that series. So yeah,
this looks like it's it, Josh. This looks like it's it. Made the right choice to buy it.
I don't know, it's really reminiscent to me of kind of like the buzz and hype around Horizon Zero Dawn, really, because if you guys remember, that game had a ton of hype, a ton of reviews right before it came out, and it delivered. And I think God of War is going to be one of those games, like very similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, not like how it plays, but just basically all the hype around it and like the review, like just basically the way it's released, and like the accolades that it's going to get, I feel are going to be very similar. And maybe God of War will get a little bit more because it's had more entries in its series, so to speak. But I'm excited.
Well, it's already got the fan base behind it, so they are feverish. I will say that, Cory Barlog directed it, and he was my favorite of the three. He made God of War 2, which was my personal favorite, so I'm excited for him. But, we will talk about that down the road. The topic of the show this week... Oh, wait, no, before I get to that, this is a good quick thing. I wanted to give a quick shout-out to the... we ran a pretty funny caption contest on the @SwordChomp Instagram in regards to a Pokemon card that my fiance actually found, and she was mad at me because I put on the Instagram that my daughter opened it, but apparently it wasn't my daughter. Apparently it was my fiance, and she was pissed that I didn't give her credit. So I'm giving you credit, even though you don't even listen to the show. But basically it was a Pokemon card. It was a combustion.
That was the most not pitiful, but like vindictive
Backhanded
thing I think you've ever done.
I'm gonna give you credit.
I'll give you credit, I guess.
I can see this marriage is going to go well.
Really?
Very well.
Yeah, you should teach seminars on being passive aggressive.
I could.
I think so.
What's funny is that she has a good eye for cock.
Oh, you want those flowers?
So,
Honey, I don't really want those flowers. I demand those flowers at the wedding. I guess. And then you're just going to put them out to where no one can see them.
I also thought it was strange that she was so adamant about getting credit for this. She was like, "You always take my credit." I'm like, "No, I don't." Anyways, she has a great eye for cock, and she saw this Pokemon card. It's on the @SwordChomp Instagram if you want to see it. It's a combustion that looks like a penis, and it's very overtly looks like a penis, and we had a good laugh. Put it up on the Instagram. So my favorite comments, and I'll break it down really quickly, just rounding them up. The runners-up was Lopez Lineman 70 said, "When Metapod hits you with that Harden," which... she got a good kick out of that one. And one of my personal favorites was, "Now that's a real cockfighter," which I thought was clever. For sure. So that one's pretty good. See, this one is good because, is that a combustion in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? So there's an extra play on words there they may not have even meant, because pocket monsters, Pokemon. But, I mean... if I had to pick a winner, the very first comment we got was, "I collect Pokemon cards for the plot." Which they set the tone for the whole thing. So that was a very Josh thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So usually if I can't think of anything clever and I have something on my hands, I just leave it up to the community to find something clever, and they usually do. So thank you. But topic of the show, it's a good one. Villains. We will get some comments from the Instagram community mixed in there as well. And this was inspired loosely by the fact that there are a lot of villains in Far Cry 5, which is sort of the game of the moment right now still, until God of War drops. And they got their primary villain, and there's a major villain in each part of the county. And they're very centralized, they're very important to the story, and controversial in some ways, people complaining about them, which we don't have to talk about right now. But the point is, got us thinking about villains. What makes a good villain to you guys? Oh, maybe what is a problem for gaming villains for you? What are some of your favorites?